Hello 16 Hot Toys collectors, it's the Clipper King returning for another ratings video featuring the Hot Toys Dark Knight version Batman. Right, I've got to say, out of all ratings videos I've done, this has got to be a bitch because it's hard to rate as a standalone figure now because it's not brand new, it's not just been released, it's been out about a year, 2 years, and since this the DX version's come out, so it's hard to review it as a standalone figure. Like I say, you're always going to lead to comparisons with the DX version. I'm going to try my best, review the things I like about it, but I will mention how it compares to the DX in my eyes. So we'll start off with the source material. As you can see, we've got the Dark Knight playing on Blu-ray, on plasma. Everybody knows it's a badass film. Probably after Predator line that Hot Toys do, I would say it's a close tie between the Batman series and the Terminators they do. They have done a really good line on all the three I've mentioned, but very popular with the Hot Toy collectors these. So I think most would agree that the source material I'd give a 5 out of 5 points for. It is a badass film. I'm not sure if I think Batman's really star of it, but yeah, it's a good film anyway. So I'd give that 5 out of 5. Right, the packaging. It's a good package on this figure. That's the internal box. As you can see, a close-up picture of the figure. Quite dark, as you would expect with a Batman figure. Then the outer slip, really nice picture again. The outer box, a really thick, grainy cardboard, really nice to the touch. A good picture, a good packaging. As you know, I do mark on the condition I receive my packaging. I'm not one of them collectors who I collect everything there is going and then suck its arse and tell you it's best figure in the world. I'll tell you honest, if it's shit, I'll tell you it's shit. If it's worth getting, I'll tell you it's worth getting. So what I do, I review the one that I've got. The box on this, it is a good, better than standard box. I really like it, really like the pictures. Only thing that fucks me off is my friends at Parcel Force dinked corners, the dumbass motherfuckers, which really pisses me off. Yet a box they can see, or they can tell with weight or it's something not known. They shouldn't be throwing around the back of the van. They just chuck it around like fucking apes anyway, which really pisses me off. And if they're not chucking your shit around, they're late. So Parcel Force can suck my hairy ass. But I think that explains the fact that it has got a ding-ding corner on this box, so I would knock it down a touch. The design's good, but the condition, thanks to fucking arse lick force, is I knock it down to just a 4 points. Right, onto the likeness. The likeness on this figure is really good. When I first got it, I was amazed by how it stood and how it looked. You can see it's Christian Bale under the mask. The standalone Bale head is amazing. You could make a figure in its own right using that head. It's really good. And like I said, if there weren't a DX version, you'd still say it were amazing. But when you compare it to the DX version, it looks like he's been on a bit of a pie diet. He's really thick right top of his legs. His stomach's a little bit too big, a bit too stocky through his shoulders. Obviously the armour emphasises that, but it just seems a little bit too fat. If the DX version had not come out, I wouldn't be saying that, because obviously there'd be nothing to compare it to, but it does look good, but the DX version is obviously better. Right, so the likeness, judging it as a standalone, I would give it a 5. The head sculpts are amazing. The outfit on this is really good, looks good, very accurate to the screen. The armour's good, the rubber feels good, it doesn't feel like it's going to tear in your hand. It's really good. Only thing with the outfit I don't like is the cape, and I've only really pissed me off over the last few days. I was checking out some videos that Dean Knight had done, and he'd got a Medicom Batman posed with a wired cape, and it looked amazing. Where this one, you basically just got it draped behind him. It's quite a nice material, but I know you can buy custom capes But I think Hot Toys are clued up enough to have put wire along the edge of cape, which would have given it a really good effect, like blowing in the wind or whatever. So the outfit, I would mark it down on that. Aside from that, it is very accurate. But like I said, the cape could be better, so I'd just give it 4 out of 5. Articulation. Now this is sort of tying with the suit because of the rubber. I think underneath it is a standard true type, so you would expect every pose you could get. But you like crouch it down and the rubber makes it spring back up. You put its arms into positions and his shoulder pads bring his arms back down. So it really restricts the pose you can get. Now, I'm a Batman fan more from the comics than I would be from the films. And the Batman from the comics, really agile, really graceful way he jumps and leaps, climbs, things like that. But you can't really put this figure into positions that you'd really want. So my idea was to have this figure sort of looking over the top of the display cabinet up there, where the Star Wars ship is, looking off the corner there, sort in like a gargoyle pose, but you'd never get him anywhere near it. So the articulation on this is quite poor, so I'd only give it 3 out of 5. Extras. The head is an extra on this. You get the grappling gun, you get a little grenade, 2 batarangs, and a collection of hands. You don't get a lot of hands, you get fists, some like relaxed hands, and one to hold the batarang. Hold the batarangs. So it's not great extras, but what you get is good. And like I said, the head, I know a lot of people have made Bruce Wayne models. I wouldn't do that because Bruce Wayne's not that interesting a character. But the head is really, really good. So on the extras, I would give it a 4 out of 5. Value. Now then, this is another thing where you've got to take into account the DX version. The value on this, I bought it for 135, and I think I would struggle to get that for it now. The value has sort of held around the £100 mark, going probably up to 120. People don't seem to want to pick these up now. The DX version is going for in region of 150 to 170, which is all good if you get a good version. If you get an oily abs one, I suppose you're being ripped off. You're getting a defective figure, which comes to the reason why I've still got this version and not the DX. I would be interested in the DX version Batman, and if I were guaranteed it weren't the oily abs version, then I would go for it. But if I were to pay £170 for a DX version and it turned up with his fucking greasy little stomach muscles, it'd really piss me off. Also, I've seen, I think it was Dino last video, and his sort of started to decay, the suit, which really put me off getting the figure. Nah, I'm one of those, I've always got money in the bank, but I'm selective what I buy. I wouldn't want to waste £150, I'd want to be definite, which is the reason it holds me off for a lot of figures, if I'm honest. The Leonidas, I'm not sure about. The Battle Damage John Connor, I'm not too sure about. I would like him, but I would only go to a certain price for him. And I'm always on lookout for that elusive Pred 1 sort of thing, so I want to make sure I've got a fair amount of money stood by if I can get him for a price I'm willing to pay. But like I say, I'm happy to keep this Batman. Like I say, it's not worth a great deal, but I'd sooner have this in mint condition than a greasy stomach DX version. So the value, I'm going to score it quite low and just give it a 3 out of 5. So to sum it up on the points, I've given it 28 out of a possible 35. If you can forget that there is a DX version out there, I'd say pick it up if you've not got a Batman. If you want the best that you can get, go for a DX version, but be very careful and make sure you get one without the oily abs defect. Right, a little bit of time left, so I'll put a few shout outs. Just standard people I normally put my shout outs to, but I find that I'm talking to the same people over and over again. So obviously Dean Knight, very helpful. His videos are amazing. If you've not checked a Dean Knight video out, then you're not a proper collector. Moggy215, his surprise unboxings and his reviews are very good. I just wish he'd start working back through his figures now and putting a few scores on so I can sort of compare his opinions to my own. If he chooses to do that, that'd be great. If he chooses not to, then it's fine. He's a funny guy. His voice just creases me up. He's sort of, I've said to him before, he's sort of a cross between a Lennox Lewis and Samuel L. Jackson. He's really, and his standard opening, "Oh my fellow collectors, I'm back," just creases me up. Darby 1980, just subscribe to each other's channels. He seems a really good guy. I like the subscribers that you can get a conversation going with and pass ideas on. I actually ask Moggy215 a lot of questions, as would certain heads fit certain characters, what do you think to this idea on customization, blah blah blah. He's very helpful, really good guy. Check out his stuff. Dino Last, another one, seems to get all the information I want quite quick. He seems a really good guy too, so big shout out to those four in particular. Everybody else that's subscribed and I subscribe to, like I say, I'm just starting out at this ratings racket, but really enjoying it. So thanks for your time. Check out my other vids. Hope you enjoy them. This is Clipper King, and I'm getting the fuck out of here.